Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here. I'm the CEO of Because Bitcoin, and today we are going to be doing a comprehensive breakdown of some of the awesome features that Hyblock has to offer. Hyblock is it's a pretty revolutionary trading technology. First came across my desk maybe about 6 months ago or so. I started seeing some pictures of it online. In a sense, it can give you a glimpse into sort of the behind the curtain look at the market. What's driving it, who is driving it, how it's being driven. And in a way, it can kind of give you x-ray vision. Not in the sense that it's necessarily a heat map. There's other technology that does that. But it's really tailored towards traders that are active and really trade off of order flow. And they can really develop and find an edge through this data that Hyblock provides. Again, by allowing them to see who's actually sort of driving the market and who the puppet master is. And they've got dozens of extremely useful tools, each one providing a slightly different edge than the last, but all of them truly outstanding. So Hyblock's most popular tool would be one of two things. Probably the one that you've seen or potentially seen would be the liquidation levels. This is a proprietary indicator that they have created and they offer through their membership. Now, this may look somewhat familiar to a lot of you guys, so we could do a quick little demo and explanation of what exactly we're looking at here. So this chart right here is Ethereum. Now, they've got a handful, more than a handful, many handfuls of different tickers here. Really, any coin that you would ever want to trade is on here, but we'll just look at Ethereum right now. So there's a couple different options here. One, you could leave it sort of as is. Granularity is all the way up. If this is a little bit cluttered for you, it's too much to look at, you have the option to slide down the granularity and clean the chart up. That will take out a lot of the noise and just show you the most important points. So that could look something like this, a little bit cleaner, and it'll show you where other traders have likely positioned. Now, a common misconception with this is a guaranteed liquidation level, and there's 200, as it's shown here, 204.5 million in liquidations at this level. And this is a short liquidation, 25 times leverage level. That is not actually the case. So what Hyblock has done is they have determined that if a trader has entered at a certain level, where that trader may or may not be subject to liquidation of their price at the three most common liquidation levels: 100x leverage, 50x leverage, and 25x leverage. So let's slide the granularity back up. I actually prefer as much data as I possibly can have here. So you can see right here that all of these dark blue bubbles or lines, or I guess both, are 25 times liquidation levels. And then you can see down here, the red is 50 times liquidation. And then you can see down here, let's see if we can find one, you can see this orange is 100 times liquidation levels. So that means, again, 100 times liquidation would imply somebody went into a trade with 100 times leverage. So a 1% move against their position would leave them subject to liquidation. Now, this can be extremely helpful information to know, because oftentimes if you are winning trading, somebody else is losing. So if you know where somebody else is losing, it can provide you a huge edge against your competition. Now, one of my favorite functions of Hyblock liquidation levels is that they show you at the top, right up here, for this profile, starting down here, May 6th, all the way until current, they show you how many liquidations there are to the upside and to the downside. You can see right here, for this Ethereum chart, again, dating from May 6th all the way until present, there are 367 short liquidations above the current price and 102 long liquidations below the current price. Clearly, looking at this liquidation profile, you can tell that potentially the market could be offsides a bit. There is far more liquidations to occur by a squeeze up than a drop down. And that can give you another huge advantage in identifying who you're playing against and where they're vulnerable. This chart doesn't specifically work in conjunction with Tradingview, but Hyblock does have additional functionality that has Tradingview charts integrated. And we can definitely go into some of those. So what we could do is we could go up here to products, click on chart, and it would pull up a very familiar chart for most traders, which is using Tradingview charts. Nice little dump there. And like we just talked about, it's, there's 300 plus liquidations to the upside if we were to get a squeeze, and about 1/3 of that represented below us. So you can see here on a crazy dump like we just had on Bitcoin. I know we were looking at Ethereum before. That would make sense that a lot of people were piling in short somewhere up here. They're probably in profit, and their liquidation prices now, maybe they've added, are kind of scattered up here, which is why the liquidation profile that we just looked at is so heavily skewed to the upside. If we were to get a squeeze, it leaves a lot more shorts vulnerable. But anyways, let me delete this and we can show some of those tools. So let's find, so Hyblock has all of their own custom indicators here, and it does use the Tradingview charts, but these are all proprietary indicators to Hyblock, and there's too many to go over. All of them today. They really do a thorough and comprehensive job. But we'll go over a couple of my favorites. So just as we went over the actual liquidations profile on their liquidation levels tool, we can throw those same liquidation levels up here on an actual Tradingview chart right through the Hyblock website. So you can see here exactly in real time with candles ticking every single minute, every single second, where traders are potentially vulnerable to additional liquidations. So for example, the purple line right here represents a 50 times liquidation level. So that would imply that somewhere around here, maybe, and we'll actually take a measured move down from here. So roughly 2% off of that liquidation level, give or take, a trader likely entered a position, and Hyblock has identified that. Now, as we know, if a trader enters a position and at 50 times leverage and the price moves against them 2%, they are subject to liquidation. So what we know is if a trader entered somewhere around here and price squeezes up, likely this trader that entered right here has a liquidation level of about 27,640 and would be subject to liquidation. And of course, what happens when a trader gets liquidated? Well, when a trader gets liquidated, maybe let's assume that they entered short down here. We don't know for sure, but let's assume that maybe they were late to the game, right? They were offsides on their short and they entered, I'll clean this up just a little bit, and they entered their 50 times leverage short here. This is somebody who is potentially late to the game. People that shorted up here were early. They were onsides. People bottom shorting down here are offsides. If somebody entered a 50 times leveraged short right here, they would be subject to a potential liquidation right here. Now, if they were short, their liquidation liquidates them in the form of a market buy order. And to close out the short right here in the form of a liquidation, a market buy to counter them, to liquidate them, to exit their position forcefully, would cause the market to market buy the same quantity they shorted. And a market buy could potentially send the market even higher, hence causing a squeeze up to all of these additional liquidations, such as this one, all of these. So again, this tool can be extremely helpful in identifying where your counterparty might be offsides and where you can capitalize to take the other side of that trade. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We really hope you enjoyed the video and found some value out of it. Hyblock really is a phenomenal company, and they're doing some pretty amazing things, helping people find their edge in trading. If you enjoyed some of the products that we showcased, please check out the link below. Sign up using our link. It helps support them and it helps support us. So thanks again for tuning in.